preceding the festival, we have a lot of events. One of the events is Cultural Sunday, and our third guest is Tosca Sel. She's a dating journalist, a dating expert and a journalist, and she will tell about her personal experiences as well as her research into the world of dating. Please welcome Tosca Sel.
I'm a journalist, and most of the times I write. So today I have to talk about what I do, and that's not something that comes very natural to me, so please bear with me. And I've also presented this in Dutch, and now I will talk in English, so cut me some slack, please. And if you have any questions about what I'm telling, please interrupt me, because that would be very...
Just outside of the lights, maybe if you move to the left.
Sorry. Yeah, better? Yeah. Better? Well, interesting. Let me start. So I'm Tosca, I'm a journalist and a dating expert. I became a dating expert by writing a book on dating, and it's all about a male-female relationship and what scientists have discovered about why we think we are attracted to each other and why we are attracted to each other. And I was asked by my co-author to write a piece about dating because he was married for 10 years and he decided he could not think of anything to write on that subject, so he asked me because I was dating a lot, really, really a lot. I was on all the dating sites. I was on eMatching, Relatieplanet, Lexa, OkCupid, but also on the more shady things. What's the one where you can cheat on your spouse? I forgot. Second Love, yes, I was on that one as well, which was really entertaining, and I was single, which made it more fun for me, less fun for the men who were already in a relationship, but we're not here to talk about that. I'm here to tell you why you should or should not be on a dating site. Because there are a lot of reasons to be on a dating site. Normally it's to find love, or sex, or some kind of companionship. But I think dating sites are actually quite inefficient. And I will tell you why. Let's see. I have light, but I can't really move. Oh, yeah, that's me. Yes, so let's start at the beginning. We have this bureau in the Netherlands, it's called the Centraal Bureau voor de Statistiek, and it says that in 2012, 2.7 million people were alone. So they hadn't proclaimed with the government that they were either married or in a steady relationship with somebody. That doesn't mean that they're all single, but they're probably they're single or in a relationship and they have not really made it public yet. Public to the government, that is. Maybe they are on Facebook. Ooh. Should I use the clicker more or what?
Yeah, otherwise I will have to keep it in the screen or push forward.
Okay, well
Decide what you like.
I don't know, could you move on to the next one, please? Okay, well, yeah, So from these 2.7 million people that are single, more than 1 million are on Dutch dating sites. We have, let's see, I wrote this down for you. Yeah, we have a few big ones in Holland. They're called Lexa and Relatieplanet. And in between months, they vary between 300,000 and 600,000 active members. So on good days, let's say the month before Christmas, we have more or less 1.5 million users on those websites. And since a few years, we also have, or since a year actually, we also have Tinder. I don't know who's on Tinder, who has heard from Tinder. Probably everybody. No? Nance? No? Okay, good. Tinder is a lot of fun. As we all know, it's connected to our Facebooks, and it's a very easy way to meet new people. You just have a stack of pictures, and you either swipe left or right. Left if you don't like them, right if you do want them. And if they do the same, if you both like each other, you get a match, and you can chat, and you can meet up and do whatever you want. Well, that's a lot of fun, of course, and everybody thinks so. Tinder has 1.2 million active users in the Netherlands, and that amount is really, really growing. And if you think 1.2 million users is like little, it's 7% of Dutch people. I think it's a staggering amount of people who are on Tinder. This is a newer research done by the Centraal Bureau voor de Statistiek again, And they have been, they asked people who are in a steady relationship where they met. And they have been doing that since 1998. And that's the yellowish, let's see, I had a light in you, didn't I? Woo! Oh. Could you go one back, please? So you see that overall people meet each other when they go out in a bar, or they go on a holiday, or they recreate in some other form. Then the second way they meet the most people is through friends, neighbors, and then they meet people through work, internet, school, a hobby or sport or church, or through family. And as you can see, the internet, which is in the middle, from 1998 to 2003, very little people met over the internet. And as we proceed, you see that the internet part is actually growing. It's really growing fast, even faster than all the other things, because meeting people through going to a bar, it's actually demising. It's getting less and less since we're meeting more over the internet. I'll try to go to the next one now, because it has some interesting information about the ages that people who have met each other over the internet from 2008 till 2013, they're actually seniors. They were quite old. And this is not the Tinder generation. This is people who were married before maybe, or were divorced, or maybe their spouse has died. And they started over, and they used the internet to find another significant other. That's a difficult word. So I thought that's fun, because I thought the top part would be in 18 to 30 years old, but apparently it's the older people who have a lot of fun on the internet. Oh, that's the light again. Oh. Ooh. Well, this is me. This is me on Relatieplanet. I don't know if anybody has been on Relatieplanet before. It's yes, I see one hand going up in the back. Fun. It's a fairly big dating site in the Netherlands, and what you do, you sign up. You state your name, or the name you want to have on the screen. My name is Tosca Sel, so I am Tosca S, since I don't really want to be. People can know who I am. I don't really need a good screen name. And then I tell the system how old I am, where I live, what I have studied, what my income is. They want to know that as well. They want to know how tall I am, what I weigh, if I'm curvy or whatever. They want to know a lot about how I look, of course, because other people want to know a lot about who I look, want to know about how I look. And then they want more pictures, and then they also want to know what I'm looking for. So I told the website that I was looking for. Let's see where we're going with this. No. Oh, it's the light again. Could you make it go on forward, please? Okay, so this is the About Me section. So I'm a female, I'm looking for a man, I'm 30 years old, I'm a Scorpio. Apparently that's very, very interesting to know. I live in Holland, in Utrecht, and I also typed down my profile text, which I worked really hard on, and it didn't really work, because apparently it didn't really work. Could you go on forward, please? So this is all the other stuff they want to know about me. If I work out, if I smoke, if I use alcohol, drink alcohol, what I weigh, how tall I am, what the color of my skin is. Oh, hey, I did it myself this time. And then when I have filled out everything about myself, of course I could try and find a man that I'd like. So I told the computer that I would like a man between 27 and 40 who lives in Utrecht, because I'm too lazy to travel abroad, or even across the city lines. And then I would like him to be well educated and single, because we're on a dating site and I'd like to find someone that's also on a dating site and maybe we could start a relationship with. And then I got these nice men. Actually, I got a whole lot of them. I could pick from 1,165 people, which is a lot. And these are the top. These are my top matches. You can see they have 4 stars, which actually are, well, some have little less. But apparently these are my men. I should date them, which is quite interesting, because all I know about them and all the computer knows about them is how tall they are and what their level of education is. But still, I could check their profiles out, see if they were not total wackos. And then I could start sending them messages saying that, hey, I'm this journalist and I write about dating. Maybe I should not tell them that in advance. But hey, I'm Tosca, I'm 30 years old. I thought you looked really cute in your picture with your white blouse and your curly hair, and maybe we should meet. And what happens then, and I don't know if you've been there, but you go and sit behind your computer and then you wait, and then you wait, and then you wait until he replies, or maybe he doesn't, I don't know. And if he replies, and it's fun, and he kind of likes me too, you start sending messages back and forward. And if that's a lot of fun, you maybe give another person your telephone number and you go on WhatsApp. And then in a day or 2 or 3, you start feeling very happy when somebody replies to your texts. And all you know from each other is digits. You've only sent each other text messages, but you start building the anticipation. And then, I don't know if this is what happens to you as well, but then I go I go for a coffee with this person, and then we meet, we see each other, and 9 out of 10 times I'm like, fuck. If I'd only known in advance that you would be this, we wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have actually told you about, I don't know, where I went to school, because we were complete strangers, and now he knows a lot about me, and I know a lot about him, and I would not be comfortable with telling him that if I had saw him in a bar before. So that's the weird thing about this whole internet dating. You get familiar with somebody, and then you meet each other, and then you don't actually have a connection, because apparently the connection is not in this data. Then there is another dating site, you've probably heard from it, it's called OkCupid. I think we're going there. Oh. Thank you. And what OkCupid does, OkCupid is a British dating site, and they have a very strong dating algorithm, and it's based on a lot of questions, like really a lot of questions. I was on it a few years ago, and there were less questions back then. And I signed up to talk to you about. I signed up on Friday so I could talk to you about this. And it literally took me an hour and a half to get my profile done. But it was for a good cause, because now I can show you what the fuck is going on there. So after I've stated all my brown hair, dark eyes, kind of overweight, not at all stuff to them, we went on to this section. Apparently a section where you can build up your match percentage with questions. And these questions are very interesting, because they ask me, would you strongly prefer to go out with someone of your own skin color or racial background? And I'd say no. I would say no, because I really don't care. And then the answers I'll accept are actually, I'd like for somebody to be open-minded, but I'm not sure, because it could be yes or no depending on the rest of the person and who he is and what his visions in life are. So I clicked on any of the above, and then you get, after you do it a few times, because I did it a few times, you get a message saying, well, if you're not any pickier, we cannot really match you. So I wasn't doing this very well, apparently, on this dating site. But it continued. It's very big now. Yeah, please click. Oh, a new one. About how long do you want your next relationship to last? How can I answer this question? I do not know. I really have no idea which persons I'm going to meet. So for some people, 1 night is way too long, and for some people, the rest of my life is just too short. So, of course, I was like, okay, so I clicked all of the above, and I would accept all of the above, and then I could not fill in what importance it was to me, and then again I got this message saying, if you're not any pickier, we cannot help you with this, so I got a bit frustrated. Oh, sorry. Could we go one on, please? One forward. Well, this is interesting, because this one actually had an opinion on. So, should burning your country's flag be illegal? No, I don't know. I don't think it should be illegal. But then I could answer, what question would I accept? Well, I would like for someone to also not think it's illegal, because I think it would be really tough to date someone with that conviction. And then I could use the bar saying how important it was to me. And I flipped through this whole process. And now the fun part, find some folks you like. That was really fun. And I got, oh, are we still doing this? Wait. Ha! This is what I wanted to show you. After I answered all these questions, I wanted to figure out what was happening on the back side of the dating site, because they gathered all this information about me. And I wanted to know how they matched me up with someone. So the owners of OkCupid, they made a TED Talk about their dating algorithm, and I would like to show you a little of this. And shall we just give it a try?
We decided that...
Oh well, just let it go.
Hello, my name is Christian Rudder, and I was one of the founders of OkCupid. It's now one of the biggest dating sites in the United States. Like almost everyone at the site, I was a math major, and as you might expect, we're known for the analytic approach we have taken to love. We call it our matching algorithm. Basically, OkCupid's matching algorithm helps us decide whether two people should go on a date. We built our entire business around it. Now, algorithm is a fancy word, and people like to drop it like it's this big thing. But really, an algorithm is just a systematic, step-by-step way to solve a problem. It doesn't have to be fancy at all. Here in this lesson, I'm going to explain how we arrived at our particular algorithm so you can see how it's done. Now, why are algorithms even important? Why does this lesson even exist? Well, notice one very significant phrase I used above. They are step-by-step way to solve a problem. And as you probably know, computers excel at step-by-step processes. A computer without an algorithm is basically an expensive paperweight. And since computers are such a pervasive part of everyday life, algorithms are everywhere. The math behind OkCupid's matching algorithm is surprisingly simple. It's just some addition, multiplication, a little bit of square roots. The tricky part in designing it, though, was figuring out how to take something mysterious, human attraction, and break it into components that a computer can work with. Well, the first thing we needed to match people up was data. Something for the algorithm to work with. The best way to get data quickly from people is to just ask for it. So we decided that OkCupid should ask users questions. Stuff like, do you want to have kids one day? How often do you brush your teeth? Do you like scary movies? And big stuff like, do you believe in God? Now, a lot of the questions are good for matching like with like. That is, when both people answer the same way. For example, two people who are both into scary movies are probably a better match than one person who is and one person who isn't. But what about a question like, do you like to be the center of attention? If both people in a relationship are saying yes to this, then they're going to have massive problems. We realized this early on, and so we decided we needed a bit more data from each question. We had to ask people to specify not only their own answer, but the answer they wanted from someone else. That worked really well, but we needed one more dimension. Some questions tell you more about a person than others. For example, a question about politics, something like, which is worse, book burning or flag burning, might reveal more about someone than their taste in movies. And it doesn't make sense to weigh all things equally, so we added one final data point. For everything that OkCupid asks you, you have a chance to tell us the role it plays in your life. And this ranges from irrelevant to mandatory. So now, for every question, we have three things for our algorithm. First, your answer. Second, how you want someone else, your potential match, to answer it. And three, how important the question is to you at all. With all this information, OkCupid can figure out how well two people will get along. The algorithm crunches the numbers and gives us a result. As a practical example, let's look at how we match you with another person. Let's call him B. Your match percentage with B is based on questions you've both answered. Let's call that set of common questions S. As a very simple example, we'll use a small set S with just two questions in common and compute a match from that.
Yes. Thank you. So I think we get what they're doing, but to me, I'm not sure. OkCupid tells me if I have filled out their questionnaire, which is endless, as you have seen now, and I've done everything, and then they tell me they can find me my perfect match. And with perfect match, they probably mean somebody that I would not end up fighting with all the time, and that we would not have very different political beliefs or religious beliefs, and we probably would brush our teeth more or less the same amount of times a day, which is a good start, because I would not know that about anybody I met in a bar. So there you have it. It's good. It's a good way to meet new people. But the thing they don't factor is It's the example of the white sporting socks. As in Holland, it's a big example about if you we probably won't like you as a man if you wear white socks, and which is true in many circumstances, because I wouldn't like my dad if he wore his white socks, and I don't like my brother or any other man. But there are some men that I like even if they're wearing white socks, because I just think they are really attractive. And this program doesn't know that of me, because it is not built to know what I think is attractive. We're going to go into that some more afterwards, but I've been on on OkCupid since Friday, and I've had some very interesting messages so far I wanted to share with you. I got an email from a guy from Amsterdam. He's 26, and he wanted me to teach me how to walk in high heels. I wear sneakers, so I declined. And I also got three emails from people in India who asked me if we could go on a date tomorrow, which I cannot because I had to be here. So sorry. Well, this is where it gets interesting for me anyway. This is what dating sites lack. They cannot really tell if we are attracted to anybody, because the computer behind the dating sites that we have now does not know if we are attracted to somebody. So let's first start and see what gets us attracted to each other.
We like to think of romantic feelings as spontaneous and indescribable things that come from the heart. But it's actually your brain running a complex series of calculations within a matter of seconds that's responsible for determining attraction. Doesn't sound quite as poetic, does it? But just because the calculations are happening in your brain doesn't mean those warm, fuzzy feelings are all in your head. In fact, all 5 of your senses play a role, each able to vote for or veto a budding attraction. The eyes are the first components in attraction. Many visual beauty standards vary between cultures and eras, and signs of youth, fertility, and good health, such as long, lustrous hair or smooth, scar-free skin, are almost always in demand because they're associated with reproductive fitness. And when the eyes spot something they like, our instinct is to move closer so the other senses can investigate. The nose's contribution to romance is more than noticing perfume or cologne. It's able to pick up on natural chemical signals known as pheromones. These not only convey important physical or genetic information about their source, but are able to activate a physiological or behavioral response in the recipient. In one study, a group of women at different points in their ovulation cycles wore the same t-shirts for 3 nights. After male volunteers were randomly assigned to smell either one of the worn shirts or a new unworn one, saliva samples showed an increase in testosterone in those who had smelled a shirt worn by an ovulating woman. Such a testosterone boost may give a man the nudge to pursue a woman he might not have otherwise noticed. A woman's nose is particularly attuned to MHC molecules, which are used to fight disease. In this case, opposites attract. When a study asked women to smell t-shirts that had been worn by different men, they preferred the odors of those whose MHC molecules differed from theirs. This makes sense. Genes that result in a greater variety of immunities may give offspring a major survival advantage. Our ears also determine attraction. Men prefer females with high-pitched, breathy voices and wide formant spacing, correlated with smaller body size, while women prefer low-pitched voices with a narrow formant spacing that suggests a larger body size. And not surprisingly, touch turns out to be crucial for romance. In this experiment, not realizing the study had begun, participants were asked to briefly hold the coffee, either hot or iced. Later, the participants read a story about a hypothetical person and were asked to rate their personality. Those who had held the hot cup of coffee perceived the person in the story as happier, more social, more generous, and better-natured than those who had held the cup of iced coffee, who rated the person as cold, stoic, and unaffectionate. If a potential mate has managed to pass all these tests, there is still one more, the infamous first kiss, a rich and complex exchange of tactile and chemical cues, such as the smell of one's breath and the taste of their mouth. This magical moment is so critical that a majority of men and women have reported losing their attraction to someone after a bad first kiss. Once attraction is confirmed, your bloodstream is flooded with norepinephrine, activating your fight or flight system. Your heart beats faster, your pupils dilate, and your body releases glucose for additional energy, not because you're in danger, but because your body is telling you that something important is happening. To help you focus, norepinephrine creates a sort of tunnel vision, blocking out surrounding distractions, possibly even warping your sense of time and enhancing your memory. This might explain why people never forget their first kiss. The idea of so much of our attraction being influenced by chemicals and evolutionary biology may seem cold and scientific rather than romantic, but the next time you see someone you like, try to appreciate how your entire body is playing matchmaker to decide if that beautiful stranger is right for you.
And that's what dating sites lack of, because they get you in touch with people, but they can't really tell you how you would react to each other. So I like dating sites. I go there a lot to meet new people. I'm on Tinder as well. But you should meet up and see what your body does to the other body and just have coffee. And coffee is a good first date because it's very short. If you don't like each other, you can just run, which is sometimes a really good thing. I don't know if you have seen this new Dutch program, and it's called The Secret of a Good Marriage. And I love it. I think it's wonderful because it combines two things. It has I'll show you because I can tell it, but they also made their own promo. Can you do that?
Ben jij single? Wil je graag een relatie? Lukt het je maar niet om de juiste te vinden en zou je dolgraag jouw soulmate leren kennen? Ons team van wetenschappelijke experts zoeken net zo lang tot ze voor jou de perfecte match gevonden heeft. Dan is het ook te verwonderen. Want in het geheim van een goed huwelijk ontmoet je elkaar voor de allereerste keer voor het altaar. Durf jij je lot in handen te leggen van de wetenschap? De bruiloft krijg je van ons cadeau. Ga naar sbs6.nl/het geheim van een goed huwelijk. Geef je op en vind degene die echt bij je past.
So has anybody seen this?
No.
None of you?
Ben jij
Yes.
single? Wil je graag een relatie? Lukt het je maar niet om de juiste te vinden en zou je dolgraag jouw soulmate leren kennen? Ons team van wetenschappelijke experts.
So how many of these shows have you seen so far?
Only one.
Only one. I'm only down to 3. So I was really wondering what happened because, I don't know how it goes with the non-Dutch speakers, but they are matching up 2 sets of 2 people, and it's 2 people or 4 people who've met the conventional way, and they fell in love and they get married on this program, and then there is 4 people who have been put together by science. And the fun part is that they underwent a whole lot of tests, and then they were matched up, and they met each other in front of the altar, and they said "I do," and then they started a life together. And apparently, it's not going very well for all of them. But this guy, Martin de Munnik, he is to blame for all this bad matchmaking because he is a neuromarketeer who has also a very bad eyebrow dye job. I don't know what happened there, but he put these people together, and let's see what he had to say about that. Because oh, sorry. So this Prezi thing is really fun. Oh, we're getting there. Yeah. One more? And then one more? Yeah. So this is Martin de Munnik, and at the beginning of the program he states, being in love is an emotion in our brain. It's brain activity, and brain activity is measurable nowadays. So you can measure being in love and how in love people are. So as a scientist, you are capable of connecting people who will fit perfectly without they even know it or feel it. So what they have, will you do it? Could you do it one forward, please? I'm just afraid to break it. So what they do, this is one of the people who was assigned to be a test dummy for the program. And he is sitting in front of a computer screen, as you see, and he has a joystick in his hand. And he gets shown a whole lot of pictures from other contestants, either male or female, and also activities that people can do together. So these are two people on the screen. He watches two people who are on a hike. And with his joystick, he can push a picture away, or he can pull it towards him. And if you push it away, you don't really like it. And if you pull it towards you, you love it. You want to get closer to it. And with the data they get from that, they can see how passionate people are about what they push away and what they draw closer to themselves. So that's a really interesting part, and they can determine what they like and what they don't like. Shall I? Yeah. Ooh, this is also fun. This is a girl sitting in front of a laptop screen, and the thing she has in front of her eyes, that's a device they measure her pupils with. And as you can see, there is on the, is it left? Yeah, on the left side there is a square with all different kind of colors, and that goes in this eye. And then on the other side you have the face of a male contestant as well. And they distract this eye so she has a very initial reaction to the picture she's looking at. And if she likes the man she sees, her pupil will dilate, it will get bigger. And which is a telltale sign that she is really into him, that she finds him attractive, that she wants to draw him closer into her life. And the thing is, sometimes we are attracted to faces which we do not think are sexy. Our conscious brain thinks, okay, so he has the wrong hair color, or she has this crazy nose, or I don't know what to do with the cap he or she is wearing. And the initial reaction your pupil shows to the picture is a very strong one. It means that you are really, really attracted to that person. So that's a good way to determine for the matchmakers to see who they should match up together. And the last one of them, yeah, this is my all-time favorite. This is, I don't know this dude, but he gets married, I think, in the program. And he is now sniffing jars with t-shirts in them. And you have seen in the little TED Talk what it does. The smelly t-shirts of the lady slept in them for 3 nights, and he's smelling the jars. And then the first 3 jars he opens, he's like, this is disgusting. And then he opens the 4th one, and he's like, not that bad. Which is funny, because we all know a t-shirt you have slept in for 3 nights, it's not really robijn fresh. It's just, nah. But he liked this shirt. And he was matched with the girl from this shirt. And, well, they got married. And I need to figure out how this went. So I will try to tell you what's going on there. Oh, we're at the end. Fun. The conclusions. Well, dating sites, according to me, and apparently I'm an expert, are not the most effective way to find potential partners. And I think you should see a dating site as a bar next door. You can go there, meet people you otherwise would not meet, do your first selection, because I don't know about you, but I sometimes go for people who are already in a relationship when I'm at a bar, or I always go, I don't know. Sometimes it's better to just make your selection before you approach somebody, and you can easily do that on dating sites. So dating sites are a good way to get to know people you wouldn't have approached otherwise. And then just hunting, meeting people, talking up to people, offering people drinks in a bar, at a bus stops, in a college classroom, it's so much more effective than being on a dating site. So if you are trying to meet people on a dating site, please keep the communication to a minimum. Just try to establish that he or she is not a freak, and go out for a cup of coffee in public. Please, in public, never at home, in public. Dating sites could match more accurately by using more technology, and some of this technology is already available. I don't know if you know the Dutch dating website Pepper, which is a very small initiative still. They give you the option to include a video message. And what a video message says like a million more things about you than just a picture, because you can hear a voice, You can see the mimic in somebody's face. You can even see how somebody holds himself, how confident he or she is. And it would be so great if we could just have that in all our freaking dating sites, because it would just make everything so much easier. And then you have this iris scan technology. And wouldn't it be fun if that was to be included on Tinder? Because you have to swipe through that whole stack of pictures. But if your webcam was looking into your eye, and if it saw that you were attracted to someone, and maybe you would give him a red cross, but the computer would say, no, you really like each other. And then you would have a match. I'd really like if that would happen. And I think we can. And then the latest point of my conclusion is dating sites that tell you that they can find the one for you by using their magic algorithm. They're lying, all of them.
Thank you very much, Tosca. Questions for Tosca? Anyone? Yeah. Next.
Have you found your match yet?
I am currently dating for over a month with somebody I met on Tinder. Ooh. So that's exciting and scary.
Tinder works.
Yes, of course.
Actually, I don't have a question, but I have something to maybe tell that you might find interesting.
Please.
I read an article by one of the founders of OkCupid, which is about their algorithm, which is very interesting. They conducted an experiment in which they basically manipulated the match percentage you had with someone else.
Yeah.
You've read about it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, so yeah, then maybe you should.
Well, you can no, please share it with the rest, because it's been a while since I've read it.
Okay, yeah. So they manipulated the match percentage you had with someone else, and then kind of measured how much contact you had and how much the contact would evolve, and how many messages you would send back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when they told people that their match percentage was higher, just apart from their algorithm, the attraction would be more, and people would be more inclined to invest time in the other person. Basically, it's very obvious, of course, that people would do that.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to compare that with the algorithm itself, and that maybe the algorithm itself isn't really the thing that makes the matches, but just the psychology of people thinking they have a match and then investing time and taking time to get to know someone better.
Yeah, I think you're
it's
right
really
about that.
Yeah.
There's also a fun story about Tinder. There are some guys who have uploaded their pictures saying "pick of the week" or best pick in Utrecht, and they get sustainably more matches than the others. So if you ever want to manipulate the system, this is a good way to go. Other questions? Yeah? Oh, sorry, I'm doing your thing now.
I read something, OkCupid's blog has lots of information, and one of the things that I found interesting is that they don't just ask questions and give you what you think you want. So one of the things, they asked people what they thought was really important, and so things like, do you believe in God? They think this is the most important question, or do you smoke?
Yeah.
And then they compared that with a study they did where when people were leaving OkCupid to be in a relationship, they'd look at who they left with. So this was their way of saying, this relationship worked. If you're leaving the site for a relationship that you found here, then this is as successful as we can find. And they found and said the 3 questions that actually matched up as being the most important, which were, do you like scary movies? Have you ever traveled alone in a foreign country? And would you drop everything and go live on a boat for a year? And apparently with these 3 questions, they say they can get as good a match as with 100 questions.
So I was on my computer on Friday answering loads and loads and loads of questions. Well, I only had to answer those 3.
Yeah, those 3 are it.
I feel fucked without any pleasure. But OkCupid is wonderful. They are so open about all the information they gather. If you ever have 15 minutes of free time, just go to the website and browse, because the amount of information they make public for everybody and the way they interpret it for you and they make fun of themselves, I love them. They're fantastic. They're a blast. Other questions? Or people who want to share something? I don't know.
Bedankt.